Hey y'all, I know it's been more than just a minute. Maybe 4 weeks, maybe 5, I don't know. A lot has happened since then because it's October and lots of things happen in October. If you're a knitter, you know. I'm Angela. I live in Houston, Texas. That is why I'm not wearing a hand knit today. It is still ridiculously hot here at the end of October, but so I'm wearing an orange t-shirt with little bats on it that I got at the Omegang Brewery when I was in New York earlier this month. Every October, I do a big road trip and I drive up to New York, Hudson River Valley. I go to Rhinebeck, to New York Sheep and Wool Festival, meet my knitting bestie from Canada up there, and we have a great weekend. This year we also visited Cakepalooza and India Untangled. So I'm going to show you my haul, but first, a little bit out of the way, what I took with me to wear. I've already shown you in a previous video my SSNA pullover, and it's around here somewhere. I also took with me my finely blocked Twists and Turns. Got a lot of compliments on it. Oh, it still smells like my perfume. Oh, that's pretty. And also, this is the Sorrel pullover from Wool and Pine Designs. And I made it with that pink rose colored yarn that I got at Knit City this summer. And it's got I don't know if you can see, it's got a lovely halo from the Suri alpaca. It's just lovely. I had to take it off around lunchtime because it got hot. It's just, October is not as cold as it used to be, which is sad. But anyway, I really, really enjoyed wearing those this weekend. What I'm working on now, and I started this on my road trip, is I'm doing another Neon Nectar, which I'm on the body. And this is also a Wool and Pines design. And this is with Lily and Pine yarn that I purchased also at Knit City in Calgary earlier this year. I sadly saw on Lily and Pine's Instagram that she is closing down her shop at the end of this year, and I'm not going to be dyeing anymore, which is very sad since I just discovered her yarn and it's beautiful. But I think there may still be some things left up on the website if you want to go check it out and get your last chance. Okay, that's out of the way. Let's talk about what we're really here for. The yarn haul. Oh, also, I wanted to make sure to tell you that I am still using my knitting journal. I've got some new stickers that I picked up. There's my, that's from Neighborhood Fiber Arts. It says, "Crochets are for President." And then the yarn is "Calling and I Must Go." And my favorite movie of all time, "You're Going to Need a Bigger Stash." Aren't we all? Don't we all? Okay. But yes, I am keeping my journal. I'm making notes about all my projects when I do them, and lots of scribble outs. And it's like, oh yeah, no, we got to start over on that one. You know, that kind of thing. But I jotted down some notes of all the yarns I purchased over the long weekend and what I'm planning to do with some of them. Let's just dive in. So first we went to Cakepalooza. It was in Saugerties, and they're located there. and it was lovely. I got to see lots of dyers that I'd never seen before, which is what I really like about going to these smaller shows, because I feel like I love Rhinebeck. I'll always love New York sheep and wool, but it's gotten to where I know what I'm going to be going to. I know what to expect. I know who's going to be there, and there's not a lot of turnover in who's there each year. So going to the smaller shows lets me see different designers and different ideas, and it's just a lot of fun. So here we go. Cakepalooza. The first thing I got, I didn't make it more than 2 booths in, and I found Destination Yarn. And this is the silver shiny fingering weight in the colorway Northern Lights. And I don't know if you can tell really well, but it's got sparkle in it. Because yes, I'm a sparkle girly. And I am going to use this to make the Northern Lights shawl by Kate Jackson Knits. And I usually, if there's a pattern that I like, I usually wind up not doing it with the recommended yarn or the yarn that the designer used, because either I'm coming across a pattern late and that yarn's been discontinued, or it was discontinued. Sometimes in the pattern they'll say, sadly this yarn has been discontinued. So I'm usually using something else other than. But this time they had the sample hanging up in the booth, and my jaw dropped. It was just gorgeous. And I am it's one of my dreams to actually see the Northern Lights in person. I haven't done it yet. I spent plenty of time in northern climes, but I just haven't been lucky. And the last time I went to Iceland, it was summer, and it was just sun, sun, sun all the time. But anyway, so yes, I'm very excited about this, and I love it that it's in the sparkle because it makes me think of the starry skies. Okay, there's that. All right, so I also visited the Periwinkle Sheep and found their merino flax. Oh my goodness, come on. There we go. Merino flax from Periwinkle Wool. Periwinkle Sheep. I'm going to get this right. So it is 90% superwash merino and 10% linen. And it's got a lovely kind of flecky color, and the way it takes the color because of the linen, and a little bit of like linen fibers in it. And one of the ladies in the booth was wearing a sweater she had made from it. And I love the way it looks knitted up. And so I'm going to do a colorwork sweater with the yoke. Obviously the sweater will be purple and the yoke will be green. And I think I know what I'm going to do, but I'm not sure for sure. When I decide, I will let you know. But I'm very excited about this. And it's wool, so I'm not going to be able to wear, it's because of the flax and because of the light texture. When it knits up, I think I'll be able to get a little more wear out of it than I would have straight wool. Okay. Another dyer new to me, well, although I think I've seen their things before, but Wool and Vinyl. And this is their Classic Rock Sock, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. Now their colorways are all named after songs, inspired by songs, but this was a mystery bag. So we decided it would be fun to do a mystery bag. So you buy a little brown paper bag, and it's a little bit less expensive than buying a regular skein, and you don't know what it's going to be. And this is what I got. And it doesn't have a name, it's just a one of a kind. And, but that pink in there, especially combined with the purple, looks perfect with my pink denim jacket. So I'm going to I'm still looking for the right pattern, but I want to do a kind of a kerchiefy shaped scarf or cowl to wear with my denim jacket. Okay. This is Fashion School Dropout is the yarn company. They're located in New Jersey. And I got their Soho sock, which is 70% merino, 25 nylon. And this was their show colorway called Happy Cake. And I'm going to hold it with their 7th Avenue Surrey and Silk lace. This one, so that's what they look like. And this colorway, it's kind of a melon color, and it's called, and I'm sorry for the earworm, I am about to give you Hot to Go. H-O-T-T-O-G-O, Hot to Go. And I'm going to hold those together to make a hat. And I'll be coming back to this in a minute. And then the last thing I got at Cakepalooza was this, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I just had to have it because it's so pretty. It's 400 yards. They're of Chelsea Yarns Luxe 80-10-10. The colorway is No Fig Deal, and it reminded me of a fig tree, and I love fig trees. And it's 400 yards, 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. And it's just lovely and squishy and has a nice twist to it. So I'm looking forward to finding the perfect pattern. So from there, we drove to Indie Untangled. And Indie Untangled is my first time going. Well, it's my first time going to either of those shows because last year I went to Woolen Folk, and I'm still a little bit, Anyway, but anyways, Indie Untangled is held at this giant equestrian event space. So it's huge, and we were driving through it and trying to find it, and the GPS, of course, sent us to the wrong entrance. And we got there, and it was just barn after barn after barn after barn as we were going down the road. And then we found it, and parking there was not a problem at all compared to compared to Cakepalooza, which is more in town, and you have to find a place to park along the street. But yeah, and they have some permanent buildings that are covered, but they don't have sides, and it was the booths were set up inside these buildings. The only thing that was a little bit challenging about it was that the buildings were kind of far apart. So if you've got any mobility issues, or if you've been driving for days and you've been standing around another show already, it's kind of a pain to walk back and forth. But they did have golf cart kind of shuttles going back and forth between the buildings, which was really nice. So if you have any mobility issues, don't let that stop you, because once you're in the buildings, it's nice and flat, and the shuttles are there. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. I did pick up a few things there. One of the first things I bought there was this pom-pom. I love a good pom-pom. And this is faux fur. There. And it's going to go on my hat. I think it'll look really good with this hat. So there we go. Okay. Next thing I got. This is from Porter Wool Company, and it's another duo. I love these duos. I just can't resist them. I love the hand dyed. I love holding the wool and is this alpaca or mohair? This one's mohair. I love holding them together and just, yeah, it's just so pretty. So this is 75 superwash merino, 25 nylon. They're the colorway on both of these is wild rose, and this one is mohair and silk. And one thing I really like about it is that the two skeins are almost exactly the same yardage. So when you're holding them together, you're not going to run out of one and then have half the other one left. So it's the merino nylon is 463 yards and the kid silk mohair is 459. So yeah, it's like 4 yards difference. It's perfect. It's perfect. Let's see, like by comparison, the ones from Fashion School Dropout, the wool is 463 yards and the Surrey silk lace is 328. So I'm gonna wind up with extra of this, which it's okay, I'll find something to do with it, but that just means that when I'm looking for a pattern, 328 is my high end on my yarn. We did another mystery bag at India Untangled, this time at the Plies and Hellhounds yarn. Oh, Plies and Hellhounds. So this was my mystery pull. It is 75% Corriedale, 25% nylon. Champagne in an Alleyway, Marie Cutie. It's not my colors, but Corriedale and nylon, this is gonna make amazing socks, really, really hard wearing, good wearing, long wearing socks. And they'll be for my husband. And I also got another, a mini mystery mini there too. And it's it doesn't have a tag on it, so I don't know what color it is. It might, I mean, it would work with this. I might use it as heels and toes, or I might use it with this, also from Plies and Hellhounds, and it is a bundle of minis. The Wicked Seeds mini bundle in the color combo Nectar, I believe is what that means. But it's very moody, it's very dark, it's not my usual, but I really love it. And this color blends right in. It's got that kind of gold, and there's that teal in there too, that they work together. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I have, this is 12 mini skeins, each at 87 yards, and that comes out to over 1,000 yards. So there's plenty here to do something. I think what I'm going to do is find a contrast color that will work with these. And I have a Rhinebeck doodle card set that I picked up last year, and I think I might make a scarf or cowl using the Rhinebeck doodle cards. I don't know, I haven't decided, but I had to, you know how it is, sometimes you see it and you just have to have it, and that's what that was. Okay, so the next day we went to Sheep and Wool. And the first stop, we got there maybe around 10. Well, yeah, between 9:30 and 10. And we went in that back entrance that's closer to town, and we, that's near all the food vendors. And we're walking along. Where do you want to go first? Oh, I don't know, because we've both been going there for years, and we don't feel that mad burning, like, oh, I've got to get to this booth first or that booth first or whatever. So we're like, well, we're on this end, let's just stop by Miss Babs and see how it is. And I was shocked that we went into the Miss Babs booth, and it was, I mean, it was crowded, don't get me wrong, but there wasn't a line out the door. And they still had some of the show colorway hanging up. And she has started doing 2 Rhinebeck colorways, and but one thing that she started doing, and I think this started during the pandemic shutdown stuff, was that she made the show colorways available on her website as well, which makes it possible for more people to get the show colorways, which is really nice. I really like that, and I took advantage of that for a couple of years. I took advantage of that last year because I wanted the Lupine Meadow colorway, and of course it was gone by the time I got there later in the day. But anyway, all that to say that I did get 2 skeins of one of her show colorways. It's called Sweater Weather. I can only say it's Sweater Weather. I cannot say Sweater Weather anymore. It's always Sweater Weather. And I got it in the Estrelita. Got 2 skeins, so I've got 800 yards. And I'm going to do a pullover vest that I can wear over t-shirts or over a collared shirt and wear under my blazer that I like to wear in the wintertime. So make a nice layer, make a nice layer. I'm gonna have a sparkly vest. So there's that, Sweater Weather. And we went back to Miss Babs again later in the, I'm sorry, it's getting really dark outside. It has been drought conditions and super hot here in Houston for weeks. And today the clouds decide to come. So anyway, we are here with my little ring light. We are gonna make do. So I went back to the Miss Babs booth later in the day and got a couple of Yowza mini skeins. This one is Antique Brass. And this is Almost Paradise. And these are going in a blanket I've been working on for a couple of years that incorporates lots of different colors and leftovers from projects in DK weight. And Yowza it's like a light worsted DK weight yarn. And it also, these colors, the colors in our bedroom are kind of a turmeric and teal combination. And here's the blanket. Let me show you the right side. I want to see the wrong side. So it's a crochet blanket with lots of different colors in it. Going back, there's Mad Tosh, there's Into the World, there's Miss Babs, there's all kinds of colors in there. And it's a fun project. I just pick it up every now and then and do a couple of rounds. And the rounds are getting really big because I want it to be big enough to use as a blanket on the bed in the wintertime. So yeah, it's getting big. It's getting big. Okay, and then of course I went to Neighborhood Fiber Arts, and she announced recently that she's getting ready to take a kind of break or sabbatical from dyeing for a bit, and I think they are moving their space. They're moving to a new space or so, I don't know, but she was there and she had a colorway. This is the show colorway. It's called Blue Ridge and Valley. And I got it in the rustic fingering, which is 100% organic merino. It's 475 yards. So it's kind of a light fingering. And it's a single, I think. Yeah. And anyway, the colors, if you've ever driven the Blue Ridge in the mornings, which I have many times, I grew up in that area. And that's one of the things I like about Neighborhood Fiber is they're based in Baltimore. Neighborhood Fiber. They're based in Baltimore, and all of her colorways are named after neighborhoods in the Baltimore, DC area where I grew up. And summer vacations, family vacations involved a lot of times, because we had a camper, and they involved driving down the Blue Ridge, driving Skyline Drive, going just out into the mountains. Yeah, so this, and I believe that portions of the proceeds from this colorway are going towards relief from the horrible storms and flooding that they've had there recently. Okay, here's my last one from Sheep and Wool, and this is from a new to me dyer. I've seen their things before, but this is the first time I bought from them, and I saw this and I had to have it. And it's kind of messed up here because when I've shown friends what I've purchased, this seems to be the one that captures people's attention the most. And I mean, it's just gorgeous. And it's so it's Avalon Springs Farm, Pendragon yarn. Never mind. And the colorway is Brigante Goddess. Ooh. Here we go. Okay. So yeah. So everybody asks, "Ooh, is it self-striping?" No. Is it all one skein? Yes. So I just pop it open to show it because look at those colors. So I'm going to do an assigned pooling scarf, and I've been looking at patterns. Haven't made my final decision yet, but yes, you'll find out when I do. And so I'm going to do an assigned pooling with the pink being the, I can't do this because you're watching. So yeah, so the pink will be what gets pooled, and it'll look like a meadow full of wildflowers. In my mind, at least. We'll see. I'm optimistic. And that was it. I can't believe how little I purchased at Sheep and Wool, because there have been times when it's been ridiculous. I guess I don't know. Anyway, so Sunday, we went back to Socrates because I guess we went to Socrates every day, because Saturday after Sheep and Wool, we went over to Socrates to have dinner at Miss Lucy's Kitchen, which is really excellent food. So yeah, but by the time we got there Saturday, all the shops were closed pretty much. Small town, things close early. So we went back Sunday during the day and walked around and went into some shops and bumped into a lot of other knitters. And we went into a yarn shop there called Perfect Blend. And it was our first time visiting that shop, and I found some more new to me yarns. One of them is, I got this, Emma's Yarn, Crazy Beautiful Color. And this is Super Silky is the name of the base, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% silk, which is always a nice combination. Yeah. And so this is Nightshade, and then this one is Sour Patch. And there are a couple of 2-color shawls that I'm thinking about doing. And so I like how this has a little bit of purple, and then they're not stripedy ones. They have like blocks of the colors, so the purple in here will pick up. This will bring out the purple in this. I have a vision. Okay, and last but certainly not least, this is a self-striping yarn. Oh, come on. There we go. There we are. This is a self-striping yarn. This is from Earth Yarns. It's their unique fingering. 100% superwash extra fine merino. 435 yards. I don't know for sure what I'm going to do with it. I think this would make a really cute Musselburgh hat if I can bring myself to make another one, because it was really boring. But that would be a good smallish project that I can just stick in a bag and grab it when I'm going somewhere and just need something to knit. Just knit. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't have to make up my mind today. I don't. But yes, so now I have this big pile of yarn. I've got to put it all away. there's a reason my channel is called Knit This Mess. It's because I'm kind of messy. I'm kind of lackadaisical in my record keeping. But my knitting journal is helping me with that. I'm getting better. I'm getting better about it. So yeah, I'm very excited about all my new yarns. I always come back from shows feeling very inspired, and this trip especially, it's something I've been doing for about 12 years now, but since 2016, yes, starting in 2016, I started driving it in my camper. So that's when I got a camper, and I drive up all the way up there, and I stop at some of my favorite distilleries along the way. This year I stopped at Omegang, and they are part of a thing now called Harvest Hosts, which I think this is their first year being a Harvest Host. And if you have a camper, you pay a membership to Harvest Host, and that gives you access to the maps and lets you make reservations to spend the night at various distilleries, farms, breweries, wineries, museums. Did I say farms? Cideries, all kinds of places. The idea being that you don't have to pay to stay there, but that you spend money there. And of course, if I'm going to be staying in the Omegang parking lot overnight, there's no way I'm not going to spend a lot of money there. So yeah, so I picked up some beers, and I picked up this cool t-shirt. It has bats on it, and on the back it has the, well, yeah, I can't, I'm rolling around here on the floor. I'm too old for this. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a great trip. And then on my way back, I drive back, and usually I take my time driving back, but I didn't this time, and it was because I was planning to be in and around Asheville, and that didn't happen. So I came back quickly this time, and so I'm kind of beat. So yeah, that is my haul, and a few of the ideas about what I'm going to do. I don't want to say I am definitely going to do this sweater or that sweater, because I might change my mind, and I change my mind a lot because I'm a mess. And yeah, so here's something we haven't done in a while. I have here a bin of yarn. Oh, I didn't bring that bag in. Okay, so I have a bin of yarn that I pulled out because I was looking for something a few weeks ago, and I didn't know where it was because, why? This is a mess. And so let's just see what's in this bin. All right, I've got this. This is some Noro. Let's see what it is. It is Noro Eero, which is 75 wool, 25% silk. And it's kind of a, what'd you call that? It's 120 meters per 100 grams. But I've got a bit of it. And I've got, how much have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 skeins. It's a little over 700 meters. I don't know. I got it and I wound some of it. I had started knitting something and I've frogged it. I don't know what it was. I don't know what I want to do with it, if anything. Because it's, I don't know. There it is. I got it. It has a red line on the tag, so I got it on a clearance. I probably paid $10 a skein for it. Maybe less. It's from a shop that is no longer in existence. If a knitting shop opens up in Houston and it's any good, it lasts 5 years tops. It's very discouraging. Okay. Oh, look, here we have a bag. It's a 1 gallon bag. And it's got in it, there's a couple of balls of fingering weight yarn. And I'm thinking one of these, what do you think? Could that be my contrast color? Could that be my matte ground color for all of these fabulous colors? I don't know. For my, yeah. And this is maybe 2. I don't know. Things to think about. Look what happens when you bust into a box. And then this is some leftovers. This is Rowan Soft Baby, which was 50% wool, 30% polyamide, and 20% cotton. I think polyamide is nylon. Don't know. But I've got 1 skein and then a little bit. And it's very pretty. I bought it. I made a sweater, like a little vest sweater thing out of this years ago when I had just started knitting it, probably like 2005. When I had just picked up my knitting again after a long hiatus and I was getting back into it and not really making the best decisions. Doesn't fit me anymore, of course. That was many years and many pounds ago. Oh, this is nice. I have here's a couple of skeins of light blue. It's a very pretty little, I used to be very attracted to these pastels. And this is Lang Yawol. Yes, I know. It is not my language, so I am surely pronouncing it incorrectly. But it's superwash sock yarn. It is, here we go, 70% wool, 18% nylon, 7% acrylic. And this, what I like about this is that it comes inside the skein. Ta-da! Is this little, I think I've talked about these before. These little, you can use it for, you hold it together with this yarn to reinforce the toes and heels, and it's dyed to match. So I'll put this, I'm gonna put this in with my, there, it's in the fingering / sock bin. So in a fit of trying to pretend I was organized, in my old house, I had one of the big 5x5 IKEA things because I had a nice big blank wall. This room has no large wall spaces, so I had to go low and long. But I had a bunch of these and I had put all of my yarn in, some of my yarn in them. And I had them organized and I put labels on them. I got a label maker and label them fingering, sock, bulky, DK, whatever. And had them in order, like from lace to super bulky. Like I had them in order, but again, that was a long time ago. So here's this little, I can't remember what the yarn is, but this is left over from a big sweater I made. And I want to say, yeah, I don't know. But it was a big sweater, and I know that it is a, I think it's an alpaca silk blend. It's a very warm, cozy sweater. It has a hood. But it's, oh boy, did it stretch. And I would have to throw it in the washer and dryer and shrink it up every time every few times I wore it, because it just got longer and longer and longer. It would probably fit me perfectly now, actually. I'm sad. I laughed. Okay, so here is another bargain clearance item. This is Oricania Ranco Multi. They are from Chile. And well, you know, now that I get it out of the bag, it's a lot prettier. And I don't know what color is 307. And it's a fingering weight, 75 wool, 25% nylon. And it's got a lot of colors in it. It's kind of fun. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 skeins of this, which gives me, it's 376 yards. So it gives me 4 times 376 yards. So yeah, that's almost, it's like a ballpark 1,500 meters, 1,500 yards. Anyway, I can tell you for sure that I bought this on clearance at Yarns to You, which used to be a great little yarn shop here in town. And if I bought it on clearance at their shop, it would have cost me $3 a skein, because I would have bought it at their big sale. They would have a big sale a couple times a year to clear it out of clearance, and everything on their clearance would have been $3 a skein. So I probably paid $12 for this yarn. And yeah, when it's in the bag, it doesn't look nearly as interesting, but when you take it out and look at it, it's pretty nice. So I'm going to do something with it, but I don't know what. And then last but not least, I have 4 skeins of Lorna's Laces Happy Valley. And this is 100% superwash wool. It's worsted weight, and each skein is 225 yards. So I got like 900 yards of this. I used to have more. I used some of it on a, I don't know, some baby thing, I guess. I don't know, because like those are baby colors, right? Don't know what I'm gonna do with this. Is it superwash? I don't know. I gotta find somebody who's got a baby, I guess. I don't know anybody that's got a baby. Or grandbabies. Most of my friends are childless cat ladies, literally. So, and anybody I know who does have kids, their kids are all grown. I don't think I even have any neighbors who have kids. When was the last time I saw a kid? They still make those, right? Well, it's here just in case. Just in case. So yeah, so these, but this is exciting because I found one of these is going to work with these. I think probably the blue, but I'm going to lay these all out, get a feel for it. Let's see. I think texture-wise, the blue one is closer to the texture of these yarns. But again, I don't know. Figure it out. Okay. Thank you for joining me today. I hopefully did not ramble too much. You can always just fast forward over the rambly bits. Now that I have filmed this video, I can actually start winding up some things, and I think the first thing I want to do is cast on that Northern Lights shawl because I am so excited about it. Very, very excited about it. And hopefully when I next come back to see you, I will be able to tell you that I have started it. Although I really do want to finish my Neon Nectar first. But I am not what you might call a monogamous knitter. I tend to flit back and forth between things. So none of my projects ever complain. We have an understanding. So, okay. Happy knitting. Take care of yourselves. If you're looking for a good podcast, I always recommend Old Gods of Appalachia, which after you listen to it a while, you're going to have trouble saying it any other way than Old Gods of Appalachia. But it's very creepy and very excellent, and I am all the way up to the end of chapter of season 3 now. I was able to do a lot of catch-up listening while I was on the road. Don't listen to it in the car because it's got lots of like nice little creepy noises in the background, and you want to hear everything. So I like to listen to it when I'm knitting in the evening, in the dark. Yeah. Anyway, happy Halloween. Just happy knitting. Be safe. Vote if you haven't or already early voted. And I will see you next time.